Okay, hopefully this should be fast. Okay, so days off in like America apparently is just not required. Like they don't have to give you days off. It's not mandatory. It's not a federal law. They don't have to do that. Oh, that was gonna Google, but it was like years and years ago. I did like a report, like CNN. Um, it was back when I had to like turn in. I had I had history class and I had to turn in daily reports and all that. I think it was before high school. No, I think it was just before. I think it was like freshman year or eighth grade. Sorry, eighth grade. I don't think it was in eighth grade. I don't think it was freshman year. I think it was freshman year or sophomore year. No, it wouldn't have been sophomore or junior year, and it wasn't senior year. So I'd been freshman or like eighth grade. Yeah, but I did because sophomore year I did an AP history class, and then I took history class and then I did online class in senior year. Yeah, okay. But anyway, there was a whole deal with like Japan and everything like that, and mostly because Isekai. Okay, so you know the trope, and with all the isekais, they're like, and then you worked yourself to death and you died. Actually accurate and actually true. And I don't know how much of like percentage it is, but it's very high. And they had to start mandated, and they'd be like, oh, even if they like earned and they had vacations and everything, they had to mandate and they had to enforce and make laws and in place and everything that you had to take those vacations because people would continue to work and they would never stop working, and they kept dying from overwork. So overwork from I keep trying to do shit and I keep hitting the power button instead of just like tapping on the screen somewhere to make sure that it stays on and everything like that, and it keeps fucking with me. I keep doing that, so it's gonna be in many parts of this video, guys. Anyway, yeah. But so for days off, yeah, it was mandatory, and it was a real thing that people were dying from overwork, and that's like a super main trope in like isekais and everything like that. They're like, oh, and then we're transferred into like another world, and they have the whole usually being like bullied, and so they like self-isolate and everything, and they just like apparently just die from like starvation or hunger. Yeah. And then there was one that was really funny. He died from like tripping on the stairs and everything, and he was butt naked, and he was masturbating in his room, and he tripped and fell and died. Yep. Otherwise they're like, oh, you you hit by a trick or a truck, a train, a car, and you get isekai'd. You get reincarnated, you get transferred into a little kid's body, you become a baby, you become an old guy, like you can become anything, you become yourself, you just go to a different location, or you're just summoned randomly. But most of the time they're like, you died from like overworking. It's a big thing. I don't remember what it's all from, but there was one that popped up in my feed. I don't know for sure what it's called, but they were like, oh, cute, like little girl who's OP because she can make potions. That was a new one. And then I'm pretty sure it's also in like Fluffy Paradise, and then like Reincarnated in Another World. It's either like a truck or like I don't think he's old enough to die from exhaustion. It's usually like a truck or car if they're younger, but if like they grew into an adult, oh, except for Reincarnated as a slime, he died from being stabbed to death. There are very rare cases when they're actually murdered, either car accident or they died from overworking or weird being like depressed and starving to death or masturbating in their rooms. Yeah, but for the most part, it's either you died in a car accident or you died from overworking. They're like almost only two options. Extremely, extremely rare where you're actually summoned. There was like one case of that, and then also Moonlight Fantasy, actually, he was summoned. But they were like, he wasn't the same case with the other ones, and I hate the other heroes because they're all typical. And I believe that, because especially since we just learned about the other heroes in the second season, because before you're just like, oh, now I just hate them. I hate the goddess, but I'm like, so does the main character, and then all of his friends and everything, so it all works out. But then in the second season, I just watched that. There's a little bit still coming out yet, but yeah. Then you learn about the other heroes, and then you have the one of being like, oh, he was bullied, and then he was summoned to another world, and he could have powers and everything he wants, and he built the harem, except apparently he wasn't really bullied, because this bitch was fucking rich and popular, and he had a bunch of friends. and he was a fucking model. But some people were rude, and they were asking for money, and they were kind of bullying him, but then girls came to save him, and they're like, hey, don't bully him. And he got embarrassed, and he said he wasn't bullied, and he ran away, and he wanted to cry in his room. And then she summoned him. And I said, that's fucking trash. And he's super overpowered with being like, oh yeah, I am now fucking immortal at night and bullshit. Obviously, spoilers. I hate him. He kind of deserves to die. But then I really, really fucking hate the girl. Fucking popular and everything. She's like, I have a good life. My parents are like super rich, but they're still pretty rich. And like, good life. I'm good at everything. But then she's like, I'm kind of just fucking bored. I'm just too good at everything. There's no fucking challenge for me. So I'm fucking bored. So yeah, okay, I'll go to another fucking world and fight in a war. Because why the fuck not? You're gonna give me powers. That's cool. And then she's like, oh, I never killed a monster. Oh my god. If I don't kill monsters, all my friends are gonna die, so I'm gonna move, and being like, oh, that was a little bit hard, but now it's fucking easing it. I didn't learn anything from that experience. And then she causes problems again, and they almost all fucking die, and they get injured. And then she's like, oh, no, apparently, because she got a little bit better at swordsmanship, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll try harder, and I'll work harder. So, yeah, okay, and we barely won, or someone else fucking saved us. Or the monster just fucking walked away and didn't decide to finish us. So, and then brought back, and then, oh, they were just injured, they didn't fucking die. And she didn't learn anything from that experience at all. And then one of them actually fucking dies. And then she's like, oh, I'll become a little bit depressed, and I'll actually work my ass off, and actually try and become better, and train all the fucking time, and be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't jump straight into fucking battle, and I'll be worried and concerned, I'll be a little bit traumatized, being like, hey, maybe we shouldn't fucking fight, and maybe we should fucking ask for help this time. And then she does. And that's when she makes friends with one of the monster servants that never doesn't learn that she's a hero. But later learns that they'd met before, and that she'd tried to attack her before, and that she was one of the monsters that had just walked by and didn't finish her. All because she talked to their familiar dog, and that was hostile towards her. Oh, was this Kill This Love? Finally played it. After it's 5:18, I tried to play the song at 4. Fucking trash. Okay. So that should be everything. And then we'll talk about villains.